Yo, cuz, welcome to the show. Talk Man Radio Show live every Friday. We're right here, and we don't miss a beat. Got fans football on the brain tonight. It's kind of funny that every week, I got to come up with show ideas, and there's nothing in the news. Like there's a couple things this week, but nothing really. And there's no fans football. What are we going to talk about? Well, we're talking tight ends this week. Just came up with that out of the blue. So we're going to get into that. But first, of course, 12 Ounce Sports. Thank you, 12 Ounce Sports. Don't forget, 12 Ounce Sports. That's what we're streaming at. 12 Ounce Sports and 12OunceSportsRadio.com. That's where you can go to check out articles, other shows, schedules, the donate button at the bottom if you like my content or any of the other content creators that we have on here talking sports. And we talk about a lot of stuff on 12 Ounce Sports. Hockey, fantasy football right here. We have real games going on, but I'll get into that later. Always consider donating a buck or two if you got it. That would help us out getting equipment, things like that, things we could use to discuss things with you, sports-related things with you. So 12 Ounce Sports, gotta love 12 Ounce Sports. They give me the opportunity to come on here. And you can follow 12 Ounce Sports on social media, YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook. And you can always find Talkman on Talkman Radio Show Live right here every Friday at 6 o'clock. Streaming on 12 Ounce Sports, of course. That's why I kind of plug. See how that goes together? Streaming on 12 Ounce Sports. And always remember to subscribe to Talkman Radio on YouTube. That's kind of my only real social media that I'm letting out as of now. Like I've told you before on the show, next month before we get into the new season and everything, I think I might have a little time. Next month, you can see a lot of changes, and I'm going to be adding some things on there social media wise that we're going to start uploading content to and things like that. Kind of the way we do it on YouTube, but we're still going to do it there just because that's where I have a couple followers. Not many. So, if you're listening, go to YouTube, go to Talkman Radio, and subscribe. There's only like 42 people. You can be number 43. You can. It's true. You can if you're the next one. So, 12 Ounce Sports, that's what we got. Now, this week, like I said, we're going to talk about tight ends. We're talking tight ends. And then the whole rest of the show is just going to be me twerking. Talking about tight ends. See how you get it? It's a double entendre thing there. It's all French. This week, the tight ends, there's 5 tight ends out there that I'm looking at that aren't in the top 3. The top 3 that everybody's, that if 99% of the people play fantasy football, if you said who are the top 3 tight ends, they'll say Kelsey, Kittle, and Waller. I'm going to talk about some other guys. And some other guys with some other issues. No Tebow. We're talking about real tight ends, not Tebow. So we're talking about that. We're also talking about Adam Vinatieri. He retired. I'm going to go over his stats. He was solid. We'll get into that, though. And quick blurb about Todd Gurley, what I think about him going to Detroit, if he does go there. So that's basically the rundown of the show. We talk about tight ends, and I'll give you my top 10 tight ends for the upcoming season. And there you go. So, that's it. But first, now, everyone knows you can find my show and dozens of other shows on 12 Ounce Sports, but did you know there's a ton of live sports on the network as well? Watch live football, baseball, hockey, lacrosse, racing, basketball, and more right here on 12 Ounce Sports. Also, check us out on Zingo TV, channel 761. I told you that before. Quench your sports thirst. You can do it with us on 12 Ounce. Also, spring shopping, preparing for that summer vacation or road trip. Maybe just looking to make that purchase you've been holding off on. Now you can do all that on Amazon while helping out here at 12 Ounce Sports. When you're heading online, use 12OunceSportsNetwork.com/Amazon and get shopping. That's 12OunceSportsNetwork.com/Amazon. We get the Amazon thing, you get the 12 Ounce Sports thing going on, and it helps everybody out. So, That's what we're looking at here. So, first things first, we're going to talk about Adam Vinatieri retired. That freaking guy has been kicking balls longer than shit. When do you think Adam Vinatieri got into the league? I'll ask. I'm probably going to put this out there, so I'll give you a couple seconds. Okay. He got in the league in 1996. What? I think that was the year. It was that year or the year before where I think Bill Parcells brought him in and they went to the Super Bowl in 96. I think he was on that first Super Bowl team with New England when they played the Packers and lost. It's possible. But so he was in New England for 10 years, it looks like, 96 to 2005. Then he went to Indianapolis for the last 13 years, 2006 to 2019. Didn't miss a game in New England. When he got to the Indy, he missed a game. But over the course of the first, he was a 100-point scorer. 160, 96, 116, 111, 126, 105, 104, 115, 117, 109. He was a 100-point scorer as a kicker for the first 8 years. He was in New England. He even threw a pass. Pass for a touchdown. One in 2004. One completion out of one attempt for 4 yards and a touchdown. Well, if he's going to throw, if he's going to throw the ball, he's throwing touchdowns, that guy. So, and that added to his fantasy point total to 127.16. And then in 2005, his last year in New England, he had 88 points, a little bit of a dip. And then he goes to New England, and again, boom, right back to being a 100-point scorer, 111, 108. In 2010, he hit for 129. In 2012, 123. 2013, 147. 2016, 139. So he was, even going into, 2016. He started in 1996, 20 years later. 139. I'm just looking up fantasy points. I'm assuming 1 point for an extra point, and maybe a couple extra points for really long field goals, which he did not kick. Towards the end, in the 2010s, I guess, maybe the 2013-14 season, he wasn't kicking long. As a matter of fact, they had another guy. They brought another guy on the team to kick long field goals, I think, if I'm not mistaken. He was just the 45 and in guy, and he was like 90%. And then, okay, we need a long one. All right, let's get this kid over here with the leg. But they knew 45 and in, this guy's good. So they kept him on. Freaking guy kicked the ball for 23 years. He got done in 2019. So, he was a solid kicker. I had him a bunch of years. Just grab him. Just grab him and plug him in. You knew he was going to play. He missed a few games. He missed a game in 2013. He missed 10 games in 2009. He missed 3 games in 2006, which is his first year in Indy. But prior to that, he was good. Most of the time he was good. He's a kicker, so he should be playing all your games. I get it. Kickers get hurt once in a while. But, he was solid. He was solid whenever you had him. There was some years where he was a little down. But you always knew if he was kicking that ball, you ain't getting a lot of misses out of him. So if you had him on your team, he was a plug-and-play guy. You don't expect too much. You didn't expect too much out of him. If you got 10 points, it's great, but you knew you were going to get 7 or 8. He was going to hit 2 because he was always on good teams with good offenses. Well, once, even prior to Brady, which was 2001, he was still putting, he was a young kicker putting up 100 points a game. Probably smoking reefer. But I don't know that, but he was still putting up 100 points a game. So I gotta give you gotta give it up to Adam Vinatieri. He's gonna go to the Hall of Fame. He's they call him, and now all those old guys. Brady came out and said something. Belichick came out and said something. Of course they're gonna come out and say something. That dude kicked memorable fucking field goals. That dude kicked the one against the Raiders. Won how many Super Bowls? The first 3 Super Bowls they won, they won by 3 points. Somebody's got to kick field goals to win by 3 points. So, very interesting. Happy trails. He's probably going to get like an analyst job or something like that. If Jay Feely got an analyst job, they'll give one to Adam Vinatieri. So, good for you, buddy. Yeah, I had you a couple of years. I think you might have helped me win once in a while. I've won 5, something like that. I think he was probably on one of those teams at least. So, go get him, Adam Vinatieri. Todd Gurley. I saw he went to Detroit. And, he's going to Detroit. If he's not signed by now, teams can use running backs. I know he's old and his knees are shot. He's a touchdown-dependent guy. Wherever he goes, doesn't matter what team he goes to, he's touchdown-dependent because there's no way he's the number 1 running back wherever he goes. Maybe he's the number 1 running back for like a week while the guy is hurt or banged up or something like that. Maybe 2 weeks, but he ain't got 300 carries in the season no more. So it's kind of interesting that Detroit would bring him in for a workout. They got DeAndre Swift, who I'm a little suspect on his health. Jamal Williams, who I think could be a sleeper this year. And somebody else they brought in. I forget. I don't have it up in front of me. But now they're going to bring in Todd Gurley. I don't know if he's going to get signed. Todd Gurley put out a post in like the beginning of April. It might have been April fooling people, but he was like, I'm ready to sign. I think it was April 1st. He might have been April fooling people, but still, why you're April fooling yourself, dude. Telling people you're going to sign somewhere. It's not like people are, where's Todd Gurley signed? People are like, Todd Gurley. He's like, he's going to be working at the tire place in a couple weeks, so I wouldn't be tweeting out things. I'm signing somewhere. I'm signing with, McDonald's. I'm going to be working the fries. I don't know how much football you got left going. So, Todd Gurley going to Detroit, meh. I don't see it. Maybe. I give it 50-50, maybe 40-60. The negative for Todd Gurley. So, we'll see. But I heard he was going. So, if he does go, he's late round pick, touchdown dependent guy. If he goes at all, I'd go Jamal Williams before him. Definitely DeAndre Swift. So, that's my Adam Vinatieri and Todd Gurley talk. Now I got real talk. We'll do real talk. We'll do real talk now. Everyone knows it's the best time of the year for sports. We're coming up to the NBA playoffs. Actually, the NBA playoffs are here. Stanley Cup playoffs. You hear they're doing weird stuff in Canada. Won't let Canada, whatever. That's why I'm. Hockey's a funny sport. It's very, I don't want to say cultish, but it's got its own set of fans. Like, if you're a hockey fan, you're a hockey fan. I like hockey. Smash you in the face. Anyway, let's get back to we're coming up on the NBA playoffs. Stanley Cup playoffs in baseball is in full swing. Now, if you want to responsibly get any action, notice responsibly, head over to mybookie.ag and use the promo code 12ouncesports. That's 12OZ sports, all caps, no spaces, when signing up for the deposit bonus. First time users only, please. That's mybookie.ag, promo code 12ouncesports, 12OZ sports, all caps, no spaces. Always gamble responsibly. Do not put the mortgage on pitch and toss. You don't want to do that. Also, check out Zingo TV. It's free. Please use the promo code 12ounce, that's 12OZ, when you sign up for Zingo TV, free TV. It really helps us out when you do that. 12 Ounce Sports is channel 761, like I already mentioned. Plus, they have other actual sports channels, music channels, and a bunch of other stuff. You got to go check it out and find out what you like. Go check it out, and it's free to sign up and use the promo code 12ounce, 12OZ. Zingo TV, it's free. Go sign up. And when you sign up, every Saturday at 11 a.m., you get the replay of the show. And we're good. We're all good. No, we're fine. We're good. We ain't good. So, moving on. I did want to get into tight ends. That's what this show is basically going to be about. We're talking about tight ends today. First thing, now, tight ends are a tricky kind of spot to fill because historically, you don't get a lot of tight ends that are really good per year. Over the history, yeah, there's plenty of tight ends you can run down, but overall, at any given year, 2, 3, maybe 4 in a good year. That's going into the season. Like, I know this guy and this guy. Out of those 2, 3, or 4, 1 or 2 usually end up as, okay, they panned out. The other 2 either got hurt, got old, something happened, and they underperformed. And there's a guy from below them that pops up and does well, pushing himself next year into the talk of this guy's going to be good. He's a top tight end. Kind of think of Dave Andrews from the year prior to last, or even Austin Hooper, who did not do well. They thought once he went over to Cleveland, oh, now he's good. He played okay, but he didn't play great. So, what I'm going to talk about are guys to keep an eye on. Tight ends to keep an eye on. Because if you don't go, like last year, if you follow the show, you know about what I went over last year going into the draft. I don't know if I'm going to do that this year. I'm going to talk about the draft going into it, but I'm not going to, I'm not sure yet if I'm going to do the same kind of strategy as I did last year. Now, last year I said, go get Travis Kelce. Forget it. Just go get him. The thing about tight ends is, especially when you have one dominant one, which I liked Travis Kelce last year. I wasn't big on Kittle because he's got an injury history, which worked out last year. So I said, go get Travis Kelce, get him in round 2. He's probably not going to be there in round 3. He may, but I would bet the farm on it if you want him to go get him. And then you have one position that you're the favorite in every week, outside of his bye week. He doesn't get hurt, so let's do it. Let's do that. We'll do that instead. So it worked out for me because I picked him in every league, and every week I dominated that position, except for the 1 week I played Darren Waller and he outscored him. But I think every other week he had 100 yards and a touchdown. So what? So that's the issue with the tight end position. Very few guys that you can put in there, and just okay, we're good. Travis Kelce's one. Darren Waller's the other. He was a guy I liked him last year. You can go back and watch the tape. Darren Waller. There were a couple other guys. Hawkinson was in there. Higbee was in there. That was a miss. But those 3 guys ended up doing fairly well, especially if you went and got Kelce, like I said. So that's the issue with the tight end position. If you don't hit it, you got problems for 13 weeks. You're either going to, if your guy gets hurt, okay, now we got the backup tight end. Hopefully he's the guy who jumps up and then, okay, now that position's covered and this guy's even playing well. So, but last year it wasn't that. The tight end position was 2 guys. That's it. Everybody else was just ho-hum at best. So you're hopeful that of those guys from last year who kind of showed up, they make that next jump, especially the younger guys. So we're going to talk a little about that. But there's some interesting things going on at the tight end position. First thing I want to get to is Now, this guy was a number one pick at a different position. He's coming back as a tight end. And I think you should look into it. And I'm not talking about Tim Tebow. Kelvin Benjamin signed with the Giants as a tight end. Now, he was a wide receiver, so I don't see him being a blocking tight end. I see him going out and catching passes. He's just fat now. So, okay. Now, he's playing with the Giants. You know the Giants have been adding guys to catch the ball. I see they're giving this kid as many options as he can get to throw the ball to quality receivers. They went out and got Kenny Golladay, Kadarius Toney, whatever his name is. You have Evan Ingram. They got rid of Golden Tate, who's old, and I get it. Sterling Shepard, this is make it or break it year for him. And the guy, who's the guy I had last year? Whoever that guy I had last year, I don't even remember because he had one good game and I was in him. The big play guy. So they have guys and they added some guys and they're bringing in a guy who has wide receiver skills to play the tight end position, and they're not bringing him in the block. So you've got guys over there. The thing about Kelvin Benjamin is, and I'll go over this. In terms of targets last year, just targets to one tight end position, Evan Ingram. 109 targets he had. Now, he caught 63 of them for 654 and one touchdown. So, I think with the added competition of Kelvin Benjamin coming in, obviously they're bringing a wide receiver at your position. So, they want somebody to catch the ball. That's not a great rate. 63 out of 109. Now, I don't know how many of those balls went in the dirt, went over his head, blah, blah, blah. But still, you got a lot of targets. You got a lot of targets out there. You got the fourth most targets in the NFL last year. Behind Kelsey, 145, Waller, 145, and Logan Thomas at 109. You were number 4, and those guys are 1, 2, and 3. You ended up 15th. Obviously, we're looking for somebody to come in and get us some tight end points. Bringing Kelvin Benjamin. Now, the combination of the high amount of targets at the tight end position, specifically Evan Ingram, gives me some optimism. Keep an eye on this guy. Keep an eye on what you hear and what you see, especially when the preseason starts, from Kelvin Benjamin. Now, I haven't seen him. If he's just a big donut, then all right, all bets are off on Donut Man. But if he comes in, he looks a little bigger. I mean, he's going to be bigger anyway. He was getting bigger when he was in the NFL. But if he looks like he's bigger but put together now, still has the wide receiver skills, he can give Evan Ingram a run for his money. You cut into those targets 50%, 40%, and Evan Ingram's not the healthiest guy around. So he gets banged up. He misses a couple games. He shows some life. He's a plug-and-play guy right there. There's a guy you can pick up off the waiver wire. But that's way off in the future. So I'm just saying, take a look. Keep an eye on Kelvin Benjamin for the Giants. Next, two guys from the same team that one I think is going to make a splash this year, and the other one I think is a good, in the right situation, a good new face, new place kind of thing. Dallas Goedert, Zach Ertz. So Goddard first because that's the easy one. Dallas Goedert, they've already said, Zach Ertz, we're gonna, whatever he wants to do, he can do. Let's do Zach Ertz first. Forget it. So Zach Ertz, they already said, whatever you want to do, you can go look for a trade. Go ahead. He's supposed to make like $8 million this year. They don't want to pay that. You got a young tight end there. He's got a couple years of seasoning. Boom. Okay, it's your shot. We're gonna run with you now. We're starting to get rid of all these old heads, especially on the offensive side. Wentz, Alshon Jeffrey, Bye Ertz, Jason Peters gone. So okay, now we've got a younger group of guys in there, and they got to play together. So bye Zach Ertz. Now where are you gonna go? From what I've seen, let's see what I got here. Zach Ertz trade rumors. The two places that I've heard about have been Arizona and Buffalo. Now, real quick, both of those teams I think would be a positive in the new place, new face, whatever you want to call it, new face in a new place. Because both places have young quarterbacks. Both places have offenses that look like they like to throw the ball. And both places don't get much, if anything, from that position. Now, Buffalo, Dalton Schultz, what was his name? Dalton Schultz was Dallas. They had a guy last year who caught a couple of touchdowns here, but if Buffalo were to get Zach Ertz, you've got a guy, now he's not Zach Ertz from 3, 4, 5 years ago. He's a little older Zach Ertz, but he's still a veteran, can still catch the ball, can still move the chains. Jason Witten just retired again. He played 20 years, that guy. So I think he's still a viable candidate, especially when you have a lot of guys around him that you don't have to key in on him. He can get the sneaky, get a couple of those and be a contributor on that offense, especially when they want to throw the ball. We're looking to throw the ball around here. Everybody with young quarterbacks looking to throw the ball. So you get a tight end in there that you can rely on more than Ricky Seals-Jones and Schwabe or whatever the hell that guy's name is in Buffalo. I think you got a shot here, not to be Zach Ertz from a couple years ago, but to be a solid player or at least a fill-in when needed, especially against bad matchups. Because he's still got a little left in the tank. He does look. I see him every week on TV because we get the Eagles. He looks a little slower. He's banged up. He missed 6 games last year. And when he came back, he didn't look all that great. Dallas Goedert looked younger and fresher. So, but I think in the right situation, Buffalo and Arizona both being decent situations, he'll definitely get drafted if he goes to one of those places. I think he gets drafted either way. It's just where and when he gets drafted. He's a backup with potential to be a starter, but you got to see how preseason's working. Make sure he's not hurt. He doesn't get hurt 2 weeks in. So it's a sticky situation with Zach Ertz, but I think there is an avenue that he could be a viable tight end. And when I say viable, I mean, week in, week out starter while he's playing. As long as he's missing injury. But it depends on the offense he goes to. Dallas Goedert, on the other hand, he has a different situation. He's got a young quarterback right now. But we don't know if the quarterback's any good. I know Josh Allen's good. I know Kyler Murray's good. I don't know nothing about Jalen Hurts. I saw him play a couple games this year. He looked okay. Yeah, that's about it. And now you got a new coach coming in. You got a new offense coming in. You got a rookie coming in, a rookie quarterback, a rookie wide receiver coming in who I like, but I think Dallas Goedert's going to be the kind of guy that, okay, I'm young. I don't know exactly what's going on here. I need a little more seasoning, so I'm going to throw to the big guy. We're throwing to the big guy here, which could lead to a really good season. Will he be able to? Now, let's do the Jalen Hurts thing first. If Jalen Hurts, the quarterback, he shows improvement, I think Dallas Goedert will be a very good year. I think a tight end is a young quarterback's best friend. They've got a running game. They've got some semblance of some wide receivers that could do something. We'll see. You got the number 1 pick. You've got Jalen Reagor. you know, you shit the bed last year, buddy. What are you going to do this year with a new quarterback? So you've got some guys out there untested. You've got the most catches out of anybody on that team. It's you're the leader. You should be the guy getting the most targets, and that's the way I think this is going to go. I'm looking at this guy. He can get like 8, 9, 10 targets a game, unless one of those wide receivers just blows up. Could happen, but I'm going to go with the tight end. I'm going to go the tight end route on it. He's the most valuable player outside of Miles Sanders catching the ball. I mean, well, on the offense, he's the top pass catcher on his team. I'll put it that way. So why wouldn't you want the top pass catcher as your on a team as your number one tight end? When I just said you don't have a lot of tight ends. So I got big, I'm going to give my top 10 tight ends for the 2021 before the end of the show. So, but that's where I'm at with Dallas Goedert and Zach Ertz and Kelvin Benjamin. So, do you know where you should be at? You should be out taking a piss. We take a quick commercial break. Go take a piss.
Welcome to MyBookie. You're ready to create an account and start making money. And we're here to help. And remember, you can get a bonus of up to $1,000 on your first deposit. Now you're ready to bet. Just go to mybookie.ag, visit the sports book, click on your bet, and input the amount you want to risk or win in the bet slip. Yes, it's that easy. Just remember, at MyBookie, you play, you win, you get paid.
Yo, cuz, welcome back. Surprised you came back. So that was the first part of tight ends. Talking tight ends. And we got a couple more. I got a couple other guys I want to talk about. Next on my list of guys to watch. Now, this guy isn't really that, it's not like this year he's coming out of nowhere. But TJ Hawkinson, it's pretty easy math when you look at TJ Hawkinson. It's him, a new quarterback who doesn't know. I don't know none of these guys. I don't even know you, but I know you're the best guy here because I never even heard of the rest of these guys. So we're going to go with TJ Hawkinson here as the only guy I'm really going to throw to. Unless the guy's standing there wide open like this with nobody around him. Because TJ Hawkinson last year, we'll look up the numbers. One of 5 guys, like I said. I'll tell you again. 5 guys went over 100 targets last year. Kelsey, Waller, Logan Thomas, Evan Ingram, TJ Hawkinson. of those 5 guys, Kelsey number 1, Waller number 2, Logan Thomas number 3, Evan Ingram number 15, which is why they brought in Kelvin Benjamin, and TJ Hawkinson number 5. Now, with the loss of Kenny Galladay, which is obvious, you're looking at guys collecting targets. TJ Hawkinson is going to collect a lot of those targets because they didn't really replace him. They didn't really replace Kenny Galladay. I mean, it's hard to replace Kenny Galladay, but they didn't even try to bring anybody else in that, is even a name. Now, I'm not. If you look at the free agent route, I'm not talking about like an AJ Green or something like that. That's just being lame. But they didn't draft anybody. They could have drafted somebody in the first round. They went with Penei Sewell. So, okay, we're going to do that then. And I get it, building from the inside out. But you got nobody to throw to. TJ Hawkinson if he got 100 targets last year, he could get 125 targets this year. And 125 targets at 67, he caught 67, he caught 2 out of every 3. 25 targets, 2 out of every 3 of them, you're looking at another 16 catches. So there's 16 more points over his 175 he had last year. He did catch 6 touchdowns, so one out of every 11 catches is going to be a touchdown. So you got to add another touchdown to the 16. So you're looking at 16 catches, and this is all me extrapolating out in my head. 16 catches plus another touchdown, 22 points, and he's getting at 10 points, 10 yards per reception. 106, so you're looking at basically another 16 points. You're looking at 38 points, 38 more points. 38 plus 175, which is what he put up, is 218. 218, which last year would have put him at number 3. Would have put him up two more spots. But 38 more points. I'll take 38 more points. So TJ Hawkinson has a lot of upside just due to the losses on the team. You bring in a new quarterback who doesn't know anybody. At least, there's no favorites running around. And even if there was favorites, he's the only guy who should be a favorite. I don't even, Quatez Dimpley is the other guy. Never heard of that guy. I don't know if I got that name right. I'm probably wrong. But who cares? Because this guy's the only guy out there in Detroit with a new quarterback coming in that's worth having. So TJ Hawkinson could make a huge jump this year, just due to the loss of Kenny Galladay and the new quarterback coming in. Just those things. And the coach, with the kneecap coach that they brought in, you kind of get the feeling we're going to run the ball and we're going to throw the ball. And when we do throw the ball, we throw short passes to the tight end. This looks like a very basic kind of offense they're bringing in here. I don't see too much dynamic, this crappy use of a word. But I don't see too much of a dynamic offense coming out of the guy who wants to bite kneecaps off of people. So, I like TJ Hawkinson. All that leads up to I like TJ Hawkinson this year. Okay? Next on the list, Irv Smith. Now, they just got rid of what's his face? What the hell is that guy's name? I have such a bad memory. Kyle Rudolph. Kyle Rudolph went to Kyle Rudolph got picked up by okay. He got picked up by the Giants. Another guy got picked up by the Giants. Kyle Rudolph's old though. So they're bringing in whoever they can bring in over there and for the tight end position at the Giants. So he's going. Irv Smith's there. They drafted him in the first round, the second round, 2-3 years ago. So this is it. He's ready. He's ready to go. What hurts him is the quarterback is meh. I'm not a huge fan of the quarterback. I think he's good. I think he's better than average, but he's not going to take you anywhere. I don't think, unless you have a superstar defense that okay, we're letting up like 6 points a game. Okay, now this guy can just go out there and like throw 10 passes like he did a couple years ago on week 1, threw 10 passes. What? Yeah, that's the quarterback we want. Got through 10 passes. Anyway, the thing that will keep Irv Smith down, in my opinion, is you got those two guys on the outside. They're just you'll get more yards out of those guys than you will out of Irv Smith. I think he's a good player. I think he's got the potential to break out, but it's hard to break out when you've got two guys on the outside that are just as good as they are. Adam Thielen is the big guy, out muscle guy, just throw it uphill gravity. He's proven that. He had double-digit touchdowns last year. I'm almost positive. I had him in one of my leagues. Every week he had a touchdown. A couple weeks he had 2. So he's the end zone guy. And the rookie played super. I think he had 1,100 yards last year. He might have even had 100 catches last year. So he played good. You got, well, not a superstar, but another very good wide receiver on the other side in Thielen. So where are your touches coming from? Irv? Irv. Where the ball's at? That's my issue. I don't think there's enough footballs to go around to keep Irv Smith happy. And I would recommend you let somebody else take him or put him down on your draft board to the point where, only if he's just sitting there, okay, we'll take him. Because I just don't see the combination of the quarterback, meh, and the two wide receivers that are going to get way more action. The running back, let's not forget, who catches balls out of the backfield. He's good for 2, 3, 4 catches a game. And he can catch the ball. Okay, that's a touchdown now. So there's no more drive. So you're not going to catch any balls on this drive because he took all the drive points. So that's my issue with Irv Smith. I don't see him as. I'd be very weary of Irv Smith going. I know he's going to be the tight end. I just don't see it. I think there's way too many other options there for. I don't think the tight end is used in that much in that offense. I think they throw it to the wide receivers. I think they throw it to the running back. So Irv Smith, meh. And last but not least, people don't talk about this guy a lot, mostly because he's old. Well, he's not old, but he's been around. Logan Thomas. I've mentioned him a couple times already, and I'm gonna mention him again right now. Logan Thomas, sneaky good season last year at 29 years old. That's the thing. He's been around, but people are like, Logan Thomas. This year you've got, I guess you can call it an upgraded quarterback because anything's an upgraded quarterback over Dwayne Haskins. That guy. You brought in Fitzy. You got the beer man. You got Heineken over there. And I'm not sure who else they brought in. But those are your two guys. Let's look it up real quick. Yeah, that's what I want to say. It looks like we've got Fitzy. And I can't find anything else. They talk about Alex Smith. He's not there anymore. Okay, whatever. I'm not doing this. I'm going to spend the whole day looking at this. Fitzy and Heineken so far. Heineken played good. He played well in the game against Tampa Bay. I didn't think they were going to beat Tampa Bay, but he played well. I don't think he has the arm strength to stick. You can kind of see him having to throw the balls up and away on those out routes to keep them away from corners jumping the route a little bit, which I was like, But he played well. I think he's a good backup. I think Fitzy's there. I think they're going to try and squeeze a little magic out of Fitzy, old Rivera. Why not? He's done it before. You know, I mean, you got a team, you got a defense behind you that's solid. So why not? Why not give it to old Fitzy? Now, the Fitzy's definitely an upgrade at quarterback over Dwayne Haskins. I think if Fitzy stays healthy and plays reasonably well, they don't have to go to Heineken. I think Logan Thomas is in for another solid year as he did last year. Last year, like I said, like I mentioned a couple times, there's a reason I kept mentioning this. But let's do week by week. Targets. And this was Dwayne Haskins in there. Targets. Week 1, 8. Week 2, 9. Week 3, 7. And then it starts going down 4, 4, 4, 4. Week 9, 6, 5, 5, 4. And then at the end of the season, they just said, screw it. We got rid of that guy. We got rid of the quarterback. We got a real quarterback. And let's just throw to this guy. You know, this guy's pretty good. 9 targets, 7 targets, 16 targets, 12 targets, and 6 targets to end the season. That was last year. He ended up with where is it? Others. Like I said, he ended up with 72 receptions out of 110 targets, which was third in the league for tight ends. Only 670 yards. The only 2 guys who had 1,000 yards were Waller and Travis Kelce. So, yeah, like I said, those 2 guys, and then it's the rest of them. Now we got to pick from the rest of them who's going to beat those 2 guys this year. And Logan Thomas has a legitimate shot to do that. You've got your quarterback situation not solidified, but way better than it was last year. I knew that guy stunk. I saw him from the year before. He stunk. Oh, now this year he's going to come and do well. He stunk last year too, and now they got him in Pittsburgh. He's going to stink over there. But he knew enough to throw to this guy. The thing about Logan Thomas is he's a little older. He's 29 years old. Everybody else I've mentioned so far are either established and older, like Waller and Kelce, or younger and getting ready to bust out. Goddard, T.J. Hawkinson, Irv Smith, Kelvin Benjamin, not so much. Goddard. So Logan Thomas is kind of the under-the-radar kind of guy that you could go out there. If his ADP's right, you could sneak in there and grab him. People aren't going to be looking at Washington tight end. Washington, to go on a little rant, watch out for Washington this year. A little sneaky Washington running around over there. Specifically the offense. The offense is going to be run-centered, thrown to the tight end, with big plays over the top with McLaurin. That's the way I see it. So take that and run with it. Logan Thomas, I like this year, just due to last year, played well with a bad quarterback around him. He proved that he was getting 8, 9, 10, 16 targets a game. So he's obviously can get open. He's a year older. He's not 32. He's still only 29. I think he's got enough left in the tank to make him jump this year and play, if not as good as last year, maybe a little better. Maybe get you to 200 points. Last year, he was the third wide receiver and third tight end. 176.6 points last year. It's not bad. Not bad for a guy who drafted that guy? Did you draft him? You didn't. You're full of shit. You didn't draft him. Fuck out of here. Picked him up on the waiver wire. But it was a good pickup. So that's it. Those are the tight ends you got to look at. You got to keep a good eye. Keep a good eye on that guy. Keep a good eye on those guys. You know what else you keep a good eye on? Keep your eye out for? Vegas Squares. Want to get an inside look at recreational sports betting? Then check out the Vegas Squares podcast, brought to you by 12 Ounce Sports. Catch them every Saturday night at 10 p.m. Eastern on Zingo TV channel 761, like I mentioned. And again, on Wednesday nights for the golf betting show, check out the website as well, lvsquares.com. That's the Vegas Squares exclusively on 12 Ounce Sports and Zingo TV. Also, check out James and the Agent, Wednesdays 8 to 9:30. And of course, every week, your sweet tooth yet? Is it working yet? Biscotti Gourmet offers a new take on an old Italian tradition of soft-baked mini biscotti in many delightful flavors. Lemon's my favorite. Go to bitscottigourmet.com. That's BITSCOTTI gourmet.com and use the promo code TALKMAN. It's different promo code. TALKMAN, TALKMAN, for 20% off your order. Any flavor is a wonderful compliment with your coffee in the morning or as a guilty pleasure treat any time of the day. BitscottiGourmet.com, BITSCOTTI gourmet.com. Now, let me show you my butt. Hold on. We're not getting into that time then. I told you. I know you're waiting for it. You ain't getting it. So, okay. I don't know what the hell's going on with my computer. It's just making noises. Number 10. We're going Gronk number 10. I don't think they're going to keep all those guys. They had O.J. Howard didn't play last year, but I think they're probably either going to get rid of him or Cameron Brate. I'd go with O.J. Howard because you can probably get a little more for him. I think he's a little younger than Cameron Brate. And they're going to go with Cameron Brate and Gronk. And Gronk's pretty much an all-purpose tight end. He's not Gronk from 6-7 years ago, even 3-4 years ago. He's old Gronk now, but he can still block the shit out of guys and catch the ball. You ain't getting 9 for 172 and 3 touchdowns no more. That ain't happening. But you can still get. He'll still put up. You'll get at least 100-yard game this year out of Gronk. Now, I don't know when that game's coming, so good luck with that one. But I think he can still put up a 100-yard game. You know, a good matchup. Brady going home. So Gronk, number 10. Number 9, new player, old player, new face on Gronk's old team. Hunter Henry, number 9. Like I said, I like the tight ends they picked up, Jonnu Smith and Hunter Henry. I think Hunter Henry's a better tight end than Jonnu Smith. The thing is, Jonnu Smith stays healthy and Hunter Henry doesn't. So that's kind of the trade-off there. But Hunter Henry, I think, is going to be more involved in the passing game. And whoever the quarterback is there, if Cam Newton starts, he has an affinity for tight ends. He likes bigger guys. Look at what Greg Olsen did. I think I talked about this before. So I like Hunter Henry going into the season, if he can stay healthy, to be the number 9 tight end. And I think going to New England, I think he's going to want to try and, do what he can over there. We'll see. Number 8, we're going to go with the rookie, Kyle Pitts. Only because, like I said, there's not a lot of tight ends in the league. And when they get rid of Julio Jones, which I'm pretty sure they're going to do, that opens up a ton of targets, which not only is he going to get the tight end targets, he's going to get the overflow of Julio targets, which could be in the range of 80, 90, maybe even 100 targets, which would put him in the range of the 3, 4, and 5 tight ends from last year. Logan Thomas, Robert Tonyan. Robert Tonyan just made a lot with a little. He had 11 touchdowns on 59 targets. No. Targets, not catches. Freaking targets. He had 11 touchdowns. And Hawkinson. So all of those guys had 100 plus targets. I think Kyle Pitts can get close to 100 targets, best case scenario, maybe even more. Who knows? Julio lets up a lot of targets now. So I'm going to go with Kyle Pitts just because of the volume. We'll put him at number 8 and the lack of other guys out there, of the tight ends out there that can make a big splash. We'll see. He's got to pick up the system. I think Matt Ryan's still an okay quarterback. Number 7, George Kittle. he's down this far just because I don't know if he can stay healthy. You know, he gets hurt. I mean, you're pretty sure he's going to get hurt this year. It's just how long is he going to be hurt for? You hope he misses like weeks 13. Well, no. No, you don't really. Weeks 9 and 10 with like an ankle thing and comes back and plays well. But he can miss 8 weeks. You don't know. It's just, you know, you just don't know. And he's too prone to it. He's still like, when he does play, he can still get 7 for 109 and a touchdown. So, you know, it's, you know, love him, hate him. And I'm going to give him a little of both and put him at number 7. Number 6, I'll go with Dave Andrews just because he is the favorite. I think he's the favorite target of Jackson in Baltimore. He had 88 targets last year, 701 yards and 7 touchdowns, which is good. But they don't. Lamar Jackson does not put up the yardage that the top quarterbacks want. He gets his yardage from running, so that holds back Mark Andrews. But he is a touchdown guy. He does get a lot of touchdowns. He got 7 last year. I think he had double digits the year before. So he's pretty consistent with his touchdowns. So that's what makes him number 6. Tight end. Now top 5. Some guys I've been talking about. Dallas Goedert, number 5. Like I said, volume with this guy. I see him coming in and being possibly the best target out there for a young quarterback to throw to. I don't know what these young wide receivers are going to do yet, specifically Devontae Smith. But Dallas Goedert has a track record. You know what he can do. So I'm going to go with him at number 5. Number 4, Logan Thomas. Old man, cricking around, catching touchdowns. 100 targets last year, and I think he could do it again. You got a better quarterback out there. You've got another year under this coach who he's got a history of doing well with tight ends. Greg Olsen, Cam Newton, like I said. So, excuse me. Logan Thomas, I think he's going to keep it up. And I think he's going to be the number 4 guy this year. I think he could even move up if one of these, the top guys moves down. There's really only one guy who can move down. We'll get to that later. Number 3, Hockenson. I like Hockenson this year. I think he's gonna be the guy that blows up. He doesn't look like he gets hurt. He doesn't look like an injury-prone guy. I haven't seen it, at least. I mean, I think there was a little bit in his first year, but he played last year, I'm pretty sure. So we're going with T.J. Hockenson just because he's got a new quarterback in there with nobody around him. He's going to get all the targets. Number 2, Darren Waller. I don't know where Aaron Rodgers is going, but if he goes there, he could fight Travis Kelce for the number 1 tight end spot if he stays healthy. But as of now, Waller's number 2. And number 1, of course, Travis Kelce. 1,416 yards he had last year. I think it's enough said. 11 touchdowns. Led all tight ends in targets, not receptions. Targets, yards, touchdowns. Travis Kelce, number 1. We're going to talk more about tight ends, wide receivers, all that stuff when we get closer to the football season. But for now, enjoy your weekend. Enjoy Memorial Day. Have a good